Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 251 of A Year of Change. Today we are going back to our documentaries. I originally had something else planned for today, and I'll briefly touch on it because I am going to come back and revisit it, but it's not what we're actually going to do today. We've looked at the Fifth Estate before. They did the War on Wheat documentary that we saw. They've done a few other news programs, but they actually had done a story on dietary supplements and all the claims that were made and how it was bullshit and all the dangers that sort of accompany it, and whether or not they were founded and all the studies that go against it. A very results based show, and they did it in tandem with Marketplace, which we've seen before as well. I can't remember which one it was that did Marketplace, but we did show that at some point. And I think, actually, you know what it was? It was that Herbal Magic thing, or Herbal Magic, way back, like 100 days ago, when all the stores closed, and I was so happy because they're just snake oil salesmen. This sort of fit in with what we were talking about yesterday as well, where it's just all the bullshit that sort of goes along with it, saying, you need to take this, it's all natural, and this is all natural, and everything else. So I'm going to revisit that later on, because what's happened is that on the Marketplace website, because originally they were supposed to air it last week, and because Fifth Estate did theirs, and then Marketplace was going to do theirs, it was just sort of a joint venture that the two of them did, just to sort of work together. Anyway, Marketplace on their website has said that they have found new information, and they don't feel comfortable airing the program until they can verify this new information first, so they put up a different one that they've had prepared for a while. So what I want to do is wait until they're both available, and which is probably going to be by next week, hopefully. And then we'll go and show them both together. So that's why I'm not showing that. But this week, this has been really tough because I've been actually looking for a really good documentary on fiber, and there are very, very few. Zero, in fact, that I have found. There are little small snippets of stuff where, like 2 or 3 minute videos, or I think they're all under 10 minutes, where it just says, this is great because fiber helps you do this and fiber helps you do that. And the majority of them are really just going, fiber helps you poop. Great. We already know that. This isn't anything new. So there's that. Then there's some which have some really weird claims, which you're just looking at going, no, it probably doesn't do that. There are some that it stops heart attacks, and there was one that said it cured hemorrhoids. I know I'm sort of focusing on the butt stuff, but I don't know how fiber is going to cure hemorrhoids. I'm assuming you're going to eat it, but I was just miming that, like, where do you put the fiber, like, poop? Anyway, that was one of them. That was just really, really weird. I didn't even click on that one because it just said it cures hemorrhoids. No, I would almost say, okay, if we're going to talk about poop again, sorry. You'd almost say, okay, I can understand if it was something related, saying it can help prevent butt stuff because you're regular and everything else. But curing anything? No. It's just, so I just sort of throw those by the wayside. But I did find something that isn't exactly a documentary. It's actually a lecture. It's put out by KatieFerraro. She's a registered dietitian. Yay, not a nutritionist, so that's good. And she's really, the thing that she focuses on is fiber in the diet. And so this is like an hour-long lecture that she had actually given. And so it's not exactly the same sort of vein as the, all the sensationalist documentaries or even the weird TV shows that we've seen before. But it's actually quite interesting. Her delivery is pretty good. So you might get bored because it is an hour and a half talking about fiber. So inevitably, something has got to give at some point. So you may not be able to do it all in one sitting. But the delivery is there. It's very good. And she goes through sort of the basics of what we've already gone through, saying, we use soluble and insoluble. There's a lot more to it, and she knows a hell of a lot more than any of us do. So unless you're a doctor who specializes in it, then you're fine. Or unless you actually are KatieFerraro and you're watching this, which I highly doubt, but you would know exactly the same amount. Or know more than this, because this is a lecture from 2013, so 2 years ago. So she's learned much more since then. She's also there's another term that goes alongside of professor, and I can't remember what it is. Not student. Associate professor? No, that doesn't sound right. It's something professor, and a whole slew of letters after her name as well. So this isn't someone who's just coming up and going, all natural, eat tree bark, everything is good. She has, these are results-based science that she looks at and says, this is what we can prove. This is what we see. These are the benefits of increasing the amount of fiber that we have in our diet. And we talked about how much or how little, I just realized I said about, really Canadian accent coming through there. We talked about how little we actually get in the run of a day, myself included. And I mean, I'm eating celery and apples and everything else. But she does address that as well. We're very, very low as to, from what we should be doing. But I mean, we are working on that, and that's the main thing. So, as I say, it's about an hour and a half long, and it's pretty much just her speaking. But there's a wealth of information in there, and it may not be something that you're going to take away. You're not going to take away every little nugget of information, fiber nuggets. But there is going to be stuff in there that we're going to revisit that we've already talked about before. Something that she's probably going to explain it a hell of a lot better than I could, and give some examples and just to say, well, this is what we can do to increase the amount of fiber in our diet. This is what the benefit is. I'm also going to put, not just with that link there, I'm going to put a link to her website as well. And I went through her Twitter feed as well as the website, and a lot of it is very sort of common sense sort of things. That was weird, wasn't it? And it's things like, people, when they say, well, this is all natural. All natural what? Tell us what's in there. So, she's sort of resending stories like that out, just keeping people apprised. Is that the word I'm looking for? Because I screwed this up once before. Keeping people up to speed on what's going on, because the FDA is now saying, well, we want you to tell us exactly what natural means. When the whole processed meats thing went on, she had something to say about that. So the information that's in there, whether you agree with it or not, it is sort of a common sense sort of thing. And it's well presented in a way that you can sort of take it in and, as we've talked about before, take in multiple sources of information and make up your own mind that way. But being able to look at results and say, okay, this is what it says is going to happen. This is what it predicts. And then you go and you test it again and again and again. And after a repeated test and the same thing is happening, then there you go. There's your evidence. So things like fiber, it may not be something where it goes, oh, it's going to help cure your hemorrhoids. But we know it's better for us. We know it keeps us fuller longer. We know it's healthier. We know that it helps us sort of sweep things out. There are a number of things that we do know that are attached to it. And I feel like I'm rambling already. Anyway, a number of things that we do know that are attached to it. But I think we're to a stage now where we can sort of throw aside the ridiculous stuff and really look at just the information and the facts and say, good enough, this is what I want to, this is the information I'm looking for, and sort of chuck aside all the remainder. And that's, I don't want to sort of detract from what we're doing today, but hopefully by next week, that's sort of what the Marketplace and the Fifth Estate documentaries are going to be as well. It leans more towards the supplements, which we bitched about earlier on this week. And just all that same, everything is all natural. It's like, it doesn't, there's nothing out there that has been around for centuries, like century-long medicine, that's going to help people, and that just hasn't been discovered yet. We have discovered all the things that work. It's become medicine. And anything that didn't, well, then you know what? We throw it aside and say it's bullshit. Anyway, getting off on two separate topics here. Sorry. So anyway, her name is Dr. KatieFerraro, I should say. Doctor in there as well. Doctor? Yes, because she's got a number of letters behind it. I believe so. Yes. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to put a link to the video, obviously. I will put the video into the playlist so that you can go and you can see it. And it's a talk by UCTV, University of California. They have their own little TV channel. So just look for it in there. And it's all about fiber, and it's going to be the only thing I've been able to find about fiber, which really kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping that I would find something. I know I was sort of heavy on the BBC stuff, but even that, I couldn't find anything that really sort of, aside from a 10 or 15 minute little snippet, just rehashing the same information, I couldn't find anything that really sort of gave it the showcase that I was looking for. Showcase? Spotlight? No, not spotlight. Gross. Not sort of to give it the focus that I wanted, because trying to find that information on just regular calories and fat and sugar and everything else, it's fairly easy to find because there's a bit of a sensationalism that there's a bit of there is a bit of sensationalism that goes along with that. Can't fucking talk at all. There is, that aspect that goes along with it because they can show the same thing that they show every single time. That's any show about fat people. It's like just show them from the waist to the neck, walking down a city street. So they have that in there that they can say, well, it makes you fat, and fat will make you fat. Sugar makes you fat, and salt makes you fat, and everything else. So they can sort of focus on that and say these are the dangers of it. When it comes to fiber, really it's all the same information. It's just helps you go to the bathroom, and that's it. Helps you stay full. There's nothing sexy or spectacular about fiber. So I think it's part of the reason why it's so hard to find something that's actually going to be informative and entertaining. So this does tip slightly on the side of information more than entertainment, but it's presented well. And it's, as I say, it's just simply a lecture that she gave a couple of years ago. And there is a lot of information in there. So if you sort of get bogged down with it, or you start watching and you think this is boring, I don't want to watch the rest of this, watch it in parts if you need to, because the information that's in there is important to what we're trying to do. And even if you don't actually follow steps that she lays out, or if you look at it and say, I'm good the way I am, I'm going to slowly start increasing things, whatever you decide to do to take a look at it, or to take away from it, take a look at it, then it's still going to be helpful. Even if it's only one thing that you take away from it, that information is going to be there, and you'll at least be able to use that. So, go up. Take a look. I'm going to put a link. That's what I was going to say as well. I'm going to put a link in the description to her website as well. She teaches an online nutrition course thing. Or she did in 2013. I don't know if it's still valid, but her main website, I will put that in the description below as well. So you can go down, you can take a look, and get a bit of a better idea as to how she sort of presents things that way. But I will also put the video in the playlist, so we'll have that. And it's not as great as, yelling at liars about fish oil, which is what we're going to be doing next week. But it's still information, and it's relevant to what we're doing. I know that this week sort of kept on going towards yelling at, frauds and everything else, and all the stupid homeopathic horseshit that goes along with it. But, and that's sort of why I was sort of looking forward to adding this in there. But we will get to that. Don't worry. We'll yell at the stupid people as they... Stupid. Don't know what happened there. Couldn't talk. We will yell at the stupid people as it comes along. Or in good time. I can't talk at all. Oh my god. Should probably start this over. Nope. Not gonna. Alright. Good enough. But I will leave this here because I'm going to start rambling on and on and on. It didn't really give you much information, but aside from saying it's a lecture about fiber, not much I can do. There's no super secret surprises that are going to jump out at you. There's nothing that I can say that will go, oh, but you'll never guess what happens in minute 47. It's not going to happen. But I will put some links in the description below so that you can go up and take a look. And, I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to try to keep this very short, so thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please poke the like button for me. In the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.